Oh, welcome back to Popular Event number 10. I'm Ben Johnson,
I'm Jordan Ball.
and we are here with the finals, where we have Sean Durham versus Gary Lau.
Gary, of course, on the blue-red prowess deck that we've seen through all the finals, and Sean, I believe, was he on camera earlier? Was that him?
Yes, he was playing Burn.
on Naya Burn.
Still on Burn. That's a good choice.
I know, some people just stick with the same deck for the whole tournament. It's amazing.
I think it's a very controversial choice, but
Yeah.
so Gary's going to take a mulligan. But last round we saw firsthand just how powerful this deck is, even on a mull of 5.
Oh, that was just amazing.
Yeah, I got to actually sit in with the players for that round. I was taking my break, and instead of doing something, I was in there watching Magic. Yeah. And it was amazing. I was chatting with Gary. It was quite amazing.
Yeah. Do you have other words other than amazing? Because it was just like 4 amazing.
Fantastic, wonderful,
Phenomenal.
not quite phenomenal.
It wasn't quite phenomenal?
No, there's only one phenomenal one.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have Gary here going to 6. Yep, if he kept.
Yes.
And he's just resolving his scry. Sean kept his 7.
Yeah, so Sean's on the play. He was the highest seed.
Yep, and Gary went to the bottom with his scry. So straight up,
Stomping ground into
Thank you.
Goblin Guide.
both players go to 18. The Taxium Probe will be the draw for Gary. So who do you like in this matchup anyway, Ben?
I definitely like Sean on the play.
Mm.
He's just able to put out so much damage, and Gary has to use his life total to cast some of his spells.
I was also talking to Gary during the break, actually, and he was saying that he's quite worried about this matchup given the prevalence of Elon of the Great Rebel.
Yeah, that's a near unbeatable card for him. He's basically got to dodge it or get very lucky with a lightning bolt.
Yeah, that's about it. Of course, he does have access like after game 1, he does have access to Blood Moon sideboard, and I've been led to believe that Blood Moon is quite good because there's not actually many basics for this deck.
Yeah, Blood Moon is actually surprisingly good against Naya Burn. A lot of their spells are multicolored, so Ataka's Command, Boris Charm, and it really slows them down. It also affects like their Wildnik Cattles. It shuts down their fetches. Yeah, I can't say I've versed a Blood Moon when I've been playing Naya Burn, but I definitely fear it. Both players get to see deck lists during sideboarding though, so Sean will be aware that Blood Moon is an option for Gary.
And we don't have deck lists available?
No, we do not. They are in the room with the players.
Okay.
And we are in the other
Same
room.
as last round, so yay, we don't know a thing. So 7 visions there from Gary, and just a pass back after rearranging some cards, and an attack from Sean, revealing another probe. So that will be the next draw for Gary. It'll be interesting to see, does Sean have a land or something to follow up?
Looks like he does.
Yep, just a mountain. And,
Yeah,
it's
I
2 mana.
I see
Is
it.
Is it? Yes. Oh, there it is. There's the Elon.
Yeah, that's rough for Gary,
It is.
especially with these Gitaxian probes.
So that would make that if he chooses not to pay, to pay the life for his Taxium probes, that would make each probe cost 4, correct?
Yes, it would cost 2 life to cast, and then the Eidolon will trigger and deal 2 damage to him as well.
Is the Eidolon trigger something that Sean would potentially, just given the idea, be able to miss?
He can't intentionally miss it, but I mean, it's always possible that he could miss it. But Sean's a very good player. I doubt that's going to happen.
And there's
Yeah.
a Kiln Fiend for Gary that will cost him 2 life.
Sean's straight onto that trigger, so yeah,
Yeah.
he's not going to miss this.
No.
I've watched him a few times just during our short breaks, very short breaks, and very very good player. Very impressed with some of his lines of play.
Fair enough. So 2 mana untapped here for Sean, and just having a quick look at the board and deciding what to do. I would hazard a guess that unless he has removal for that Kiln Fiend, the last thing he wants to do is swing in with the Elon.
So he can swing in with the Eidolon. If Gary wants to trade, it's going to cost him a mutagen growth. But I doubt he's got one. Yeah, I can't see one
It
in his
doesn't look
hand.
like it, no.
That would also cost him 4 life. So I think it's actually a safe attack with the Eidolon. I'd trade my Eidolon for 4 life.
Oh, yes. So I made this mistake, I think it was last round as well. I keep thinking that Kiln Fiend's a 2-1, not a 1-2.
No, that's fine.
Oh, that's a second Eidolon.
Jeez.
Oh, this is really bad for Gary. Sean drops to 16 off the Eidolon trigger, and yeah, now can freely attack without a care in the world, but he does get a land there.
Yeah, so Sean plays the Eidolon before combat, just in case Gary did have that mutagenic growth. Now it would cost him 6 life and basically put him dead.
Yeah. Considering that Sean, I think, has at least 3 cards still left in hand, it would more than likely leave him dead, yes. Just a brief moment there, we'll bring up the Eidolon of the Great Rebel for you to have a look at home. I believe it was a Monastery Swift Speed drawn there for Gary, although, again, that's going to cost him a lot. But Sean, he has to be very happy with the way this game is progressing.
Yeah, he's only got the 2 lands, but he only needed 2 lands to cast Eidolon. So.
With double Eidolon in each and every one of Gary's spells. Gary only at 8, and it costing him 4 mana to play 4 life to play any of his spells. Yeah. I don't see a way out of this for him. That takes him 2-4 there.
Yeah, Gary, that was just a check to see if Sean would actually remember his triggers. He did, so that's about lights out for Gary.
Yep, that was game 1 very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Burton wants to do. That's why they're in the deck. He's going to swing in.
Scalding Time revealed and goes to hand, but we force blocks here. Actually, and he can't even double block. So he can't double block to take out one of the Eidolons because that would leave him dead.
Yeah, with Sean with 5 cards in hand, this is just game over.
Yep. And there's the attacker's command. Yes, he'll take 4 life to
cast it.
But with Gary only on 2, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, unfortunate for Gary. That's basically the perfect game for Sean.
It
That's
really,
exactly what
really is.
1 drop into double Eidolon, and Gary paying a little bit of life with his fetch lands and a Gitaxian Probe. So looking at sideboard,
in there. Ooh.
That's Grim Lavamancer.
So he obviously expects the game to go longer. There's the Dragon Score as well.
Yeah, another Reveler.
Yes. No, I'd be interested. I didn't see that one, did you?
No, I missed that one.
So 5 cards in total that we've seen here. I didn't see the buttons though, interestingly enough.
No, it didn't look like it. They might just be a bit too slow for this matchup. So players just looking at their opponent's deck list, something we do here at Popolot, just to prevent scouting and that sort of stuff. Well, we've got a little bit of a break, and we don't have much information about sideboarding. Let's spruik some events. Just spruik. Yeah, what's wrong with spruik? It's a good word. Let's spruik some events. Jordan's incapacitated with laughter at the word spruik. Anyway, coming up November 20th, we have a Popolot 10K tournament. So it's going to be standard format. It's going to be a preliminary Pro Tour qualifier, so a PPTQ. We're going to be giving away $10,000 in prizes. So first place is going to receive an invite to the regionals and also $1,000. We're also going to have a modern side event starting after round 3, at the end of round 3. So it's a bounce back modern event. That's also going to have some large cash prizes. And we're looking forward to seeing everyone there. It's going to be a great day.
Doors open when?
Doors open at definitely sometime during the morning.
I think it was 8:30. Doors open, wasn't it?
It was. We might be pushing it back a little bit
okay.
based on just when the club will let us in.
Okay.
If it was up to me, we'd start at 6. It's PM.
Why?
PM. I'm a very night.
Oh, PM.
I'm a night person.
That's okay. I thought you were pushing for us to start at 6 a.m. and I was just going to vote to have you lynched.
I mean, we are going to have a lot of magic on that day. We're expecting a bit over 100 people, so it's going to be a fantastic day. Lots of rounds of magic, lots of prizes on the way, lots of giveaways on the day. Stay tuned to our Facebook page. It's Popolot Super Series on Facebook for all the details, and we'll be doing booster giveaways, trivia questions. It's all going to be happening there. Players still sideboarding now. It looked like Sean's taking out Boris Charms. I could see that one. And the lava spikes.
I think taking out lava spikes is probably the correct move here.
Lightning Helix, Deflecting Palm.
Oh, Palm surely has to be a
Path to
card he brings
Exile.
in.
Yeah, it looked like. Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see Sean just get Gary here with his look. Well, I like seeing anyone get got by the fucking palm. We saw it earlier today.
Yeah, we saw Sean get a Kitchen Finks early today.
Yeah.
Not quite as blowout, it was only 4 damage. But seeing it hit a really large Kiln Fiend
or
would be
something
really
like
nice.
that would be great.
Yeah, that would be nice, but I'm really rooting for Gary here.
Well,
I'm a bit biased.
I've got to admit that we've watched Gary through the finals. Do you actually know how Sean got here? What decks he faced?
No, I don't actually. Just he versed Infect earlier
I thought Gary first did. No, I'm just talking about in the finals.
in the finals. Last in the semi-finals, Sean versed Affinity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about the quarterfinals, but all I know is that his games were over very quickly.
Fair enough.
So
Well, not quite as quickly actually as Gary's was in the semi-final. His game did go a little bit longer.
yeah, he went to 3 games against Affinity, and Affinity just stalled him out a little bit. But Sean was able to get there eventually with a Grimlar Mancer. I got to watch the end of that match.
Oh, yes.
Just picked off all his creatures, and then a Goblin Guide came down and swung for lethal. Yeah,
That'll do it.
yeah. Players are presenting now. I'd like to also mention Gary is going to be representing us at the World Magic Cup at the end of the year. Yeah, a little tidbit for everyone to know. So we wish him all the best in representing Australia, and hope he enjoys his holiday to Amsterdam. So hopefully players like their hands.
If I'm looking at Gary's hand correctly, I quite like his hand. And he starts off with a Canal and a Swiftspear, hitting him for 1 damage. This is exactly the kind of start he wants every single time. And that's I cannot remember the name.
Sacred Foundry.
Sacred Foundry, thank you, and a Goblin Guide from Sean. He himself gets in for 2 and reveals a Steam Vents.
No blocking in this match.
Nope, this is everything just straight up going at the face.
Oh, another Bedlam Reveler.
There is a Lightning Bolt, however, in hand. And Serum Visions will allow for a Power Trigger here, which I think is what he's going for first.
Yeah, I wonder if Gary will save this Lightning Bolt, just in case of an Eidolon.
Well, he does have a basic Mountain in hand as well, so he could also just wait for the trigger from the Goblin Guide next turn to see what he would be drawing.
Yeah, that looks like a Dragon's Claw.
It does.
Yeah, he's going to keep that one on top. He also drew a Forked Bolt off his Serum
that what it
Visions.
was?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that Forkbolt came in from the sideboard, I believe.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, it did. Yeah, he's got one in the sideboard.
We saw that last round, a great effect against Infect.
Yeah, taking down that Noble Hierarch.
Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah. So now that he has the Forked Bolt, he has 2 Ancestor creatures along with that Lightning Bolt. So he might as well just fire off this Forked Bolt here to take care of the Goblin Guide. And then he does. Now he's going to swing in for 3.
And this also allows, disallows Sean to know the information of what left on top of his library.
Yep.
Given, well, Sean may have another Goblin Guide, but we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like Sean has a Path to Exile as well. That might come up a bit later on if Gary moves all in on a creature.
If Sean was to say fire that off now, given that Gary went keep on top, would Gary have the option to not look if he chose to?
Yeah, it's a May ability, so Gary doesn't have to go and find that basic land, especially if he likes those cards on top of his deck. He can just decline to search.
And given that we think one of them is a Dragon's Claw, that is more than likely.
Yeah, I feel like
This
it's fairly
is
likely.
really powerful in
Yeah,
this matchup for
Gary
him.
also, I think he has another land in hand.
He does. So that was a Stomping Ground there, untapped, and a Wild Mikado, which will be a 3/3.
Looks like he has another Wild Cattle, a Swift Spear, that Path to Exile, and then 2 Lightning Bolts.
So not a bad hand here at all for Sean. I mean, Gary does have some removal of his own, as we saw. Would you play the Swift Spear here, or would you leave up the Lightning Bolt?
I just cast the Lightning Bolt right now as a sorcery.
Oh, of course, because then Gary can't do anything in response.
Yeah.
And I believe that was the Dragon's Claw. We did see it there.
Yeah, and Gary has a Steam Vents as his 3rd land. So he's going to pay 2.
And go to 16. Interestingly, Gary very far ahead on life so far in this matchup, and it's only turn 3.
Yeah, the Naya mana base is very tough on the life total for both players.
So that's the Dragon's Claw coming down there for Gary, and perhaps one more for the Lightning Bolt, taking out that Wild Mikado.
Yeah, Gary just pointing at the neck cattle just to check that it was a 3/3.
Yep. Also noted, note that he's going to choose his Dragon's Claw, just getting the trigger there to gain 1 life. As I believe Dragon's Claw reads, whenever each player plays a red spell, you gain 1 life or something along those lines.
Yeah, we're just bringing it up on screen just now.
Yeah, you may gain 1 life. So it is a triggered ability, you can miss it.
Yeah, and Sean's just thinking on the stack. I think he should have responded to this Dragon's Claw before it resolved.
But he does have the bolt here, and that will allow him to kill the Swift Spear. But as you said, because he waited, Gary will gain the 1 life. Oh, Gary with the mutagenic growth. He's actually able to save his Swift Spear.
Oh, wow.
The bolt was his bolt resolves, the Warden Cattle dies, and he's able to get in here for, I think, 4 or 5 damage? Should be 5, I think.
So,
Mutagenic growth gives a +3 because of the power trigger.
yep, plus the Lightning Bolt is 4, and then the Dragon's Claw is an artifact.
Oh, yes, he played that as well, so it should be 6 damage. Yeah, and in fact it was, taking 2 into 5. Wait, 11. Yeah, taking 2 into 5.
Yeah, Sean took a lot of damage. That happened.
He took some amount of damage, that we saw.
Wild Cattle.
It was 6, I think. Yeah, Wild Cattle, the follow-up. Another 3/3 here. Gary doesn't have any more removal in hand, I don't think. But that will not trigger the Dragon's Claw, so that's got to make Sean at least a little bit happier about it.
Yeah, it's also a decent blocker. Guy's gonna have to do something to get through it. Cast at least 2 spells.
And of course, one of those.
I think both cards in hands were Bedlam Rebel is correct.
I believe so, but he does, I think, have enough instants and sorceries to cast it. There's a Swift Spear there, and a trigger from the Dragon's Claw, 17 life for Gary.
Yeah, just the 4 instances of sorceries in the bin. So it's going to cost 4 for Bedlam Rebels.
Nice,
so
sorry,
it's just...
I
Yeah, that's okay. It's just a 1 mana short.
You are right, though. It is just 2 copies of Bedlam Rebel there. So a Lightning Bolt on one of the Swift Spears, and 1 life gained for Gary, going back to 18. So even here, like, Sean drawing an Eidolon of the Great Revolt being at 5 life isn't actually that great for him, is it? Because it doesn't allow for a lot of follow-up plays.
Yeah, that would actually harm Sean's game more than Gary at this point. Just because Gary is so far ahead on the life totals.
So there's a Goblin Guy, which will again trigger the Dragon's Claw. Gary picking that up. A swing here with the Goblin Guy will get Sean in for 2, but could also draw Gary a card. And that's a Swift Spear there.
Yeah, so Sean's going to have to start attacking at some point. Or possibly getting in with the Goblin Guide and then the Cattle. Or even just the Goblin Guide.
Just passes the turn here.
He's just playing cautiously.
Yep.
Gary draws the land, puts it
Which
straight
will
into
allow
play.
him to play the Bedlam Rebel.
Exactly. So the first one's going to discard the second one, but
He will
at the
draw
price
3
of,
yes, he will
drawing
draw
3.
3 additional cards here.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be better than just another Bedlam Reveler.
Plus he'll also go to 21. And that is somewhat relevant.
Oh, he actually go to 20. He had to pay a life for his
Oh, of
fetch
course
land.
he did.
Yeah. But yeah, being at 20 life against Naya Burn deck
As late
on
as,
turn 4 or 5.
I think it's turn 5, I think.
Yeah.
Both players have missed land drops. Yep, trigger there, takes him to 20. And he'll draw 3. Believe there's a land and another Bedlam Weaver at the very least.
And a Teamer Battle Rage.
Are we sure it's a Team of Battle Rage?
Yes, I'm definitely sure.
Okay.
I had a chat with Gary
Yeah, it
after
is a
that.
Team of Battle Rage.
Yeah.
That one is.
Had a chat about his Faithless Lootings, how they should be a different art, so I don't confuse them anymore.
We had that discussion in here as well.
Yeah, I mean, that happens sometimes.
It does. It was rather amusing though.
Storm Jason Mages is very good.
That's a very, very good draw there for Gary.
Bedlam Revel is also pretty good as it is a 3/4 with prowess, so it's able to attack freely into these creatures. And any spells can mess up double blocks.
Now, Sean did leave 2 mana untapped there though, so Sean left 2 mana untapped. So Gary does have to worry about some form of burn spell coming from Sean's 2 untapped mana. Possible double lightning bolt But with at least the Team of Battle Rage in hand, I think that he will be perfectly okay.
Yeah, so Gary's a very intelligent player, so he's going to know what Sean's representing with that mana. So the possibilities are Lightning Helix, Attacker's Command, Lightning Bolt. Sacred Foundry provides white, so it also represents Path to Exile. So I doubt Gary's going to move all in it during any point here.
It is a tackle out, however.
Yeah, this is a safe attack.
He might lose the Swift Spear, but if he does, it's not
Yeah,
really that
he has the
worrying.
Battle Rage in case Sean does tap out for something. Looks like Sean's just wanted to stop him before combat, and that's all good. They're just going to go to combat now.
Yep. Sean very quickly sets up a double block on that Bedlam Reveler and just blocks the... Oh, he does go for the Battle Rage.
Yeah, so this is going to force Sean's hand. Also, if this resolves, then...
And there is in fact the Path to Exile on the Bedlam Reveler. But the Swift Spear will now eat the other Swift Spear. Oh no, it won't actually, because they'll both get power triggers, won't they?
Yeah, they both get prowess triggers, so they both go to a 2-3.
And we look at Path to Exile there.
Yeah, Storm Chaser Mage is going to get in for 2 though. Take Sean down to 3. So, in Lightning Bolt range. Card both players have a lot of.
Land there for Gary. And I believe the last card in his hand is another copy of Bedlam Reveler.
Yeah, it's the one he drew before, off the first Bedlam Reveler. So it's going to come down next turn to refuel his hand.
Which, of course, just... Oh, Searing Blaze on the Storm Chaser Mage. But Gary will gain a life there.
Yeah, that's got the landfall trigger as well, so that's going to be 3 damage to kill that Storm Chaser Mage.
So that's 3 damage to the creature and 3 damage to the player.
Yep.
And Sean, with the Prowess trigger, getting in here. Gary fetches before the Goblin Guide trigger.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
Hmm.
We're just getting a land out of his deck, because any spell is good here. They either draw a card or push through damage. But Gary's going to take 4 damage.
I believe so, yes. And that was a Swift Spear on top, I think?
Yeah, that's it. That's a good one.
So chances are what he'll do here then is he'll play that Swift Spear out and then play the Bedlam Reveler.
Yeah, that's correct.
And Sean will go, at the very least, to 2.
Yeah, and Gary's going to get to gain 2 life as
Yep.
well from
And
these
go up to
2.
16 by the end of the turn. So Bedlam Reveler only costing 2 now? It should be?
I
No, it's
think-
still 3.
Yeah, it's going to be 3 mana now. It's very close to.
There it is, and Sean getting a momentary pause there, making sure the right mana was paid.
Yeah, Sean just thought Gary overpaid, but he actually paid that 1 mana for the Swift Spear just before he cast.
Serum Visions, Kiln Fiend, and I missed the last one.
Another
Oh, it's
Bedlam
another Bedlam Reveler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very, very nasty.
So we're going to probably see Serum Visions. Or he also could just play this Kiln Fiend. But no, he's going
The
to go...
Serum Visions, though, gives a chance for a Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, or just another way to push through damage.
And so he does go for the Kiln Fiend in the end, getting the extra life, going to 17. And he didn't attack.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
find that slightly strange.
Well, he definitely has lethal next turn. So he just didn't want to throw away one of his Swift Spears.
I suppose with only having 3 mana to his 6, there isn't much of a
Yeah.
hurry. Sean takes himself to 2 there with the Wooded Foothills and gets a basic mountain.
Yeah, I feel like Gary should have attacked. That way it makes that fetch land dead for Sean. Basically stripping him of mana. I think Gary noticed that just at the end of turn.
So 2 mana here from Sean.
It's just like a Never Searing Blaze?
Yes, it is. And that will take out the Kiln Fiend, but Gary will gain 1, so the Searing Blaze will only take him to 15, I believe. No, sorry? Yeah, 15. I was right. Shouldn't doubt myself.
Never doubt yourself. Always believe.
Another Serum Vision's there for Gary.
Gary's going to have a lot of draws at finding something good here.
He is, and there's another Kiln Fiend, but he gets to scry 2. We'll put both those lands to the bottom. And of course this will activate prowess for his creatures as well. We know that Sean is tapped out. There's a Rift Bolt on the stack, however. There's another Kiln Fiend. And I believe that was a land... A land definitely going to the bottom, and a Swift Spear possibly going to the bottom. I believe in the end he bottomed both there. Now he does have the 4th Bedlam Reveler, if he chooses to play it. And did he have a 1-mana spell that I missed?
It looks like he's counting for another Bedlam Reveler. Just has it.
The least it can cost is 2, he doesn't have 1. Yes, he comes second, and this will be the Bedlam Reveler. So this here will leave all of Sean's creatures having to block. That is, of course, if the lightning bolt is not drawn here. It does not appear it was, but that was a Storm Chaser Mage, I believe.
Yeah, that should be able to push through enough damage for lethal.
Possibly not, because Sean does have 3 blockers, only 3 of those creatures can attack.
Yes, that is true.
But that will take Sean to 1, so any future lands that are not, will have to come in either tapped, or if they're fetches, they cannot fetch.
It also forced the Goblin Guide and the Swift Spear to jump block.
Yes.
He could also just attack with the Storm Chaser Mage, but I think it's just better to attack all out.
Yep.
Yep.
And indeed what he does. Sean making him actually pay for his Storm Chaser Mage there.
Yeah, there's...
So the Rift Bolt will come in here and possibly take out a creature. I am not convinced there's anything Sean can draw here though. Does he have copies of Anger of the Gods in his
No, he doesn't. That wouldn't do anything anyway because...
Oh no, the Bedlam was a 4 power. 4 toughness.
3-4, yeah. So, Gary's going to take that game.
And we'll go to game 3. Very interesting game there. Very set of games there actually so far. Like, Gary's never seemed to be on the back foot once he hit his Dragon's Claw in game 2, and yet he never seemed like he was in game 1.
Yeah, Dragon's Claw did a lot for him that game. I think it gained him about maybe 15 to 20 life.
Yeah. I don't think it was quite 20, but I think it was around...
Let me dream, please. But yeah, no, it was a decent amount of life, and it just gave him enough time to chain his Bedlam Revelers together.
I think it was about 11.
Yeah, it was definitely over 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gave him enough time to chain his Bedlam Revelers together and find all the creatures and threats he needed to win. Whereas the Neoburn does not have any card advantage, so they're just playing off the top of the deck.
Yeah. So it looks like neither player is looking to sideboard here. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I spoke too soon.
Yeah, if Sean's just having a look at his sideboard again, I don't think he's going to make any changes. He's just checking if he wants to change anything.
Does that look like an Eidolon that had been taken out?
Yeah, so on the draw, he might side an Eidolon out. He might feel it. Oh, sorry about that.
It's alright.
Lunch is coming back.
Lunch
he
is
might
back.
he might feel that Eidolon's a bit too slow on the draw. I don't really agree, but I think he just wants to lower his curve on the draw as much as possible. On the play, I think they're fantastic, as we saw in game 1.
Yes. I mean, 2 of those in game 1 really did just shut Gary out of any opportunity he had to be part of this game.
Yeah, he had
Part of that game.
He had no chance once they resolved.
Now, Gary, of course, with 0 counterspells in his 75. I'm not sure what just happened there.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened?
Nothing happened.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Sean is just taking a really good look at his sideboard.
Yep. Gary here looks completely calm and collected.
Yeah, he's a very experienced player. Having a massive hot streak at the moment, just dominating tournaments.
As we've seen by him today, like, we've seen him win matches out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
So both players are now finally shuffling up here. We'll see their opening hands in a moment and see if they keep. I do think Sean here is a little bit favoured to win this match, though, just because he is on the play, and that is a big thing with both decks being so aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. Sean's got the advantage here. Just being able to set the initiative and get on the board first, it's just going to do too much. It's going to be a bit more tempo play.
Yeah. Alright, well, we're both shuffled up. Does Sean have 7? It looks like only 6. No,
No, that's
one for
seven.
the other,
Yeah, yes. The top pile is 3 and the bottom pile is 4.
4, yes. Matching sleeves are a problem in Magic. They make it hard to look at things.
Nah, matching sleeves are fantastic.
It does fit in the sort of OCD part of Magic, you know, everything must look the same. All our lands must be the same.
Yeah, but having matching lands is just good Magic.
It's just pretty Magic.
Yeah. So Gary doing what he usually does,
Yep.
drawing a few cards after a mulligan. I made some comments to him while watching the last round of the semi-finals that he'll only keep a 9-card hand.
So Gary, this is why Gary's been such a hot streak then.
So to spite me, he mulliganed down to 5 and won anyway.
I see. Although this does explain his hot streak, though, you know, cheating will do that.
Yeah, we're definitely not accusing Gary of cheating.
Not at all,
We're just
no.
taking the piss.
Yes.
Yeah, I mentioned to Gary last round that I never look, and he said I always look. So I guess one of us is doing it right because I haven't got those results.
No.
Maybe I should start looking
Yeah,
a bit
something to
more.
take forward into your next tournament, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe even the popular 10K. Oh, there's some spooking for you.
Oh, God.
That's a word of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Spook.
It's not a word. All right, so we're off here. I believe Gary kept his 6. I don't know what he did with the try. I just don't. But we have I believe that's a Stomping Ground, untapped for Sean and Goblin Guide.
Yep, that's the starting ones.
That's not a Goblin Guide.
No, that's
a Grim
Lava.
Lavamancer.
Yeah.
Swift Spear is in Gary's hand, as well as quite a few, I think 2 or 3 lands. Serum Visions, I believe, probably a team of Battle Rage. And we're going to start with the Serum Visions. That's an interesting choice. Metamorphosis the draw,
Yeah, so
and a couple of Cone Fiends on top.
yeah, because Gary took the mulligan. He's just looking to smooth out his draws a bit more.
Ah,
Yeah. He's just trying to set up, looks like the Storm Chaser Mage in hand.
given the fact that there is a potential. Can Grim Lavamancer go to creatures or just to the opponent's life cycle?
Grim Lavamancer can hit creatures or players.
So given that the Grim Lavamancer has a large potential to be able to take out Swift Spear next turn, I suppose it is the right play.
Yeah.
Sean here just having a quick think.
Yeah, he's just really thinking through his turn.
Well, this is, I believe, this is the final game of the day.
Yeah, it's the final game of the day. It's also one of the crucial turns for Burn. Turn 2 decides a lot of what they're going to do. Is he going to have an Eidolon, or is he going to have 2 threats, or is he just going to leave up a Burn spell?
And looks like he's just working to leave up a burn spell.
So what this represents is possibly a Burn spell and then a Grim Lavamancer activation, exiling the 2 cards, because the Burn spell would be 1 card, and the land in the graveyard's already there.
Gary here having both players here playing very slowly, very deliberately, but there is quite a bit on the line here.
Yeah, we have $300 for first place, $100 for second place.
I was discussing we commented earlier, by the way, on Gary's list, and why he was only playing 3 copies of Spiremoth now.
Yep.
I've actually managed to have a chat with him about that since then, and apparently it's because he doesn't really like the card very much.
Okay, that's
He
fair.
believes that it comes in, and there is the Lightning Bolt. You are 100% correct, by the way. He believes the card comes in tapped far too often, and he needs all his lands untapped all the time.
Yep, that's a fair assessment. I trust Gary, he's played this deck quite a bit. It looks like Sean drew an Eidolon off the top. Getting frisky with that Grim Lavamancer because he knows he's going to tap out.
Thinks about. Oh, look, there is the Eidolon.
Yeah, that's
And
going
we,
to...
we saw how powerful this was game one. Does he have an answer to it in hand? I don't see one.
Yeah, he has a Faithless Looting to go looking for one. But there's a few cards in the back of his hand I couldn't quite see. It looks like a Manamorphose.
I believe it's a Manamorphose and a Team of Battle Rage. I'm not sure. I think he has a Kiln Fiend as a creature in hand there.
Yeah, I think it might be a Swift Spear. That he was holding back because of the Grim Lavamancer.
Oh,
yeah,
of course, yeah. Which you could now play because the Grim Lavamancer, of course, has no fuel. Scalding Tarn, the play. Goes down to 16. And I believe we'll just fetch a basic mountain. Yep. I think Gary's lands don't match.
Yeah, but Gary's really cool, so...
So it doesn't matter?
No, Gary,
Oh, I see.
Gary gets a pass.
No bias here at all, folks. And
No.
there is a Faithless Looting that will do 2 to Gary and take him to 14 life.
I believe I pointed out my biases. I guess, I am now a fellow Burn player. Which is a sad thing to admit. I am rooting for Sean, but also, just as a flavor wise, I am definitely going for Gary.
I've enjoyed watching Gary all through the day. It's been a delight, so I do want him to win this.
Yeah, there's. I'm very happy for either player to win.
Oh yeah.
The only downside would be if neither of them play Magic, but this game is looking pretty decent, as both players are getting in some form of Magic. Gary's a little bit behind because of that Eidolon, though.
Eidolon is such a beating for his deck, and without an answer readily in hand, he is going to take so much damage trying to find one.
Yeah. He's got a Storm Chaser Mage off that Faithless Looting.
He does have the Storm Chaser. He can attack with that for 1 and take Sean to 13. However, he does have a good collection of cards in hand after that, including a Battle Rage. So there is a big possibility, though, that Sean may, in fact, if he cannot do enough damage, just lose to Gary in the turn afterwards. We've seen this happen from Gary's deck quite a few times.
Yeah, it's possible.
It will very much depend on whether or not Sean taps out.
Yeah, I don't know if Gary's going to have enough of a life total left after this next turn. He's taking 3 minimum next turn. That'll put him to 9. And that's if Sean doesn't play anything else to the board.
Yes, now that he's attacked, you're correct.
Yep. Yeah, if you're going to play that Storm Chaser Mage, it's turning sideways. You're not going to spend 2 life to not get in there for 1 at least.
So if he finds a Lightning Bolt, he could cast the Lightning Bolt on the Eidolon, destroy that, take 2, go to 10, and then start to go off with the Metamorphosis.
Yeah, that's basically how he wants to start. He's going to take damage this
Oh,
turn.
but there is the Lightning Bolt from Sean, taking out that mate.
Storm Chaser Mage.
Thank you.
That's alright.
I just completely fumbled my words there. And that, of course, providing just a tiny bit of food for the Grim Lavamancer, which will very soon be able to provide another 2 damage to Gary's life total. Sean, of course, dropped down to 9 there to do that, and is about to drop to 7, I believe, with this next play.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his next play is.
No, chooses to leave the mana open.
Yeah, so slight mistap of mana here for Sean. I don't think it's going to be relevant, but if he taps a Stomping Ground and leaves the Sacred Foundry untapped, then he can represent Path to Exile. But it looks like he has a Wild Cattle he's contemplating casting, but doesn't want to drop down to 7 life.
7's a relatively safe life total at this point in the game, but one can understand his apprehension. Just to pass back to Gary here.
Yeah, and Gary should also be at 9 life. That just needs to be fixed. Yes, he took 3 damage from that Eidolon.
Now, being at 9, he actually doesn't have enough life to cast enough spells to actually... Oh, maybe he still does, with the Team of Battle Rage. Of course, you would have to bank on Sean having nothing here, but at a certain point, you do just have to play like your opponent doesn't have it.
Yeah. Great contribution, Ben. Great work.
What happened?
Oh, I just said yes. But let's see what Gary can do. He's drawn a Dragon's Claw. That might be just be too late, though.
I think it is a turn too late, yes, turn or two. Now, Sean here has still yet to get off 2 lands, however, and it just has not mattered. Eidolon has been so powerful this game.
Yeah. As Gary mentioned before, yeah, we're just getting the life totals
Oh, it's
updated.
11.
Yeah, Sean's actually at 11,
Oh.
and Gary's at 9.
No, okay, Sean. I think Sean may have this.
Yeah, it's looking very grim here for Gary.
Although I don't know if our viewers can see this, we can actually see Sean's face on our cameras here, and he does just look unfazed. There's nothing on his face to show that he has anything or doesn't. A very good poker face.
Yeah, he's been playing Magic for a while. Very good player. I've been impressed with him before. We can see just the players right there. Gary's just trying to think of different lines of play that he has available. Because he has that Swift Spear, he also has the Dragon's Claw, which can sort of mitigate the damage from Eidolon.
There's also the worry, however, that if he does potentially go for the win here with the Swift Spear, that of course that would drop him to at least 1. I think it would drop him to 1, in fact, to go for it that way. There is the Dragon's Claw. Although that will trigger Eidolon itself.
Yes, that's going to drop him down to 7. So any red spell that Gary plays is only going to lose him 1 life now.
Although that will drop him to 6, and Sean has multiple cards in hand. Although one of them is a Wildling Cattle. There's a Lightning Bolt from Sean.
Yeah, it's not looking good now. So Sean playing that in response to the Dragon's Claw, so Gary doesn't gain any life.
Gary will go to 2 and then back up to 3 to play any spell. But that does leave him in range of almost every burn spell in the game. And almost every burn spell in the burn deck, I believe.
Yeah. Sean also has that Grim Lavamancer with enough fuel to fire.
Yeah.
So with Gary tapped out, Sean just has to just show him the spells. A bit unfortunate that it ends like this for Gary. But Sean's played very well today.
Yes, he has. There's a mountain from him. And there's the attacker's command for the victory.
Yeah, so that's going to deal 3. Gary's going to gain 1 and go to 4. But then the Grim Lavamancer is going to deal 2 damage.
Or he couldn't easily just attack with both creatures and still win.
Yeah.
But he doesn't actually have it yet. Yep, there's the Grim Lava activation, and congratulations to Sean.
Yeah, congratulations, Sean Durham. He's the winner of Modern Populot event number 10. And he'll be taking home that sweet, sweet trophy. You can see the players. Let's see between the players. Gary's head's just covering it now. But it is pretty. We have a photo of the players in the trophy up on
There it is.
Populot Facebook page. We'll also get some pictures of Sean with his pretty new trophy.
Alright.
Well, that's about all we have time for here at Populot. I'd like to thank you all very much for coming along and watching some great Magic with us today. From all of us here, I'd like to say goodbye.
See ya.